Welcome to a Cardano, Chainlink, and VeChain update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And why am I covering 3 altcoins in one single video? Well, because there's not much else happening, and if I were to make a video about every single altcoin, I mean, it's the exact same pattern on pretty much all of these charts. I mean, except for Cardano. Cardano is a bit different. So rather than make multiple videos, I will just make one and I will talk about all of them. So first I need to talk about Cardano, obviously, because Cardano is the most popular, at least on my channel. And well, Cardano, as you can see, actually found resistance at the Ethereum line right here after we fell below it, and we are still below the 200-day moving average. The fourth wave move down did not get invalidated. We did not get below this low right here, which is good, but what we need to do right now is get back above the trend line and then above the 200-day moving average and then above the bull market support band, and that could take some time. So yeah, I mean, right now in the short term there's not much else. I mean, we could always get another low right here and that could put us at 50 cents, but rather than that, I mean, until we get below this low right here, I cannot tell you anything. So if we actually manage to get back above the trend line, that could be very, very bullish. Now, before I talk about Chainlink and VeChain, I actually want to look at Bitcoin just so we can get an idea of what could happen next. And as you can see, Bitcoin is currently going down. Well, it actually went down. Right now it's back up and we are about to test the 200-day moving average, and this is actually going to be very, very important, because if we get rejected by the 200-day moving average, it's likely that we hit about $75,000 next, and then we start going up, then we get some kind of bounce, and if something like that happens, the altcoins will of course go down as well, and Ethereum included. Now, like I said, the last support zone for Bitcoin is $69,000, so if we drop below this, we are most likely in a left translated peak, and well, we have not dropped below it yet, and I don't think we will, but you have to know that if we drop below this, it's gonna be very, very bearish. Now, the confirmation that the left translated peak is actually gonna happen would be a drop below $64,000. Until then, we're fine, so this could always go lower, and right now what we need to do is get back above the 200-day moving average, which is at $86,000, and then above the bull market support band, which is at $95,000. Now, in this video, I will also give you some long-term targets for the altcoins and for Bitcoin as well, so let's talk about Chainlink as well, but first I will talk about the short term, of course. So Chainlink actually has a 1-2 setup on the chart. It's not the best 1-2 setup in the world, but as you can see, we are seeing a reaction, some kind of reaction to the 0.618 support level here. I actually shared this with the members, so like I said, if you want to be a member, you get access to a bunch of stuff like this, for example. And yeah, we have a 1-2 setup. Now, the first wave move up, I don't really know how to count it. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you were generous about it, but maybe it's just a pre-wave move up, and well, the second wave move down does not really look in. I mean, this actually looks like an A structure, meaning that we are most likely doing B right now, and C could still come after that. Now, maybe this is wrong, maybe this is actually the ABC, and if that's the case, which should still, get above the 200-day moving average and then above the bull market support band next. And I could actually give you a target zone for this, because, I mean, why not? So let me give you a target zone for the third wave move up, if I could actually find what I'm looking for, because I never seem to be able to find it. And yeah, we get this low right here and I just cannot get it, so let me actually do a cut and it will be on the chart in 1 second. Alright, so this right here is the target zone for the third wave of this 1-2 setup. Keep in mind, we already got below the 0.618 support level here, so it's not really that bullish. It could always get invalidated. Now, if it does get invalidated, that would also not be good, because as you can see right now, Chainlink, the fourth wave move down of Chainlink, is already at the 0.786 support level, and this is the last support level. As you can see, we did get a reaction to it, and a double bottom is still likely. So yeah, until we get some kind of move to the upside, some kind of 5-wave move to the upside, I cannot confirm that the low is in. And this 4th wave move down is obviously not that good, because this pretty much turns the chart, actually not the chart, but the structure, into a diagonal. And yeah, there's a lot of work to be done, but the 5th wave move up could still happen, and that could still put us at above, let's see, about $35 to $40. So that's it about Chainlink, at least for the short term. Now let's go on the VeChain chart, and VeChain, well, it also has a 1-2 setup, but I think this will just get invalidated, so we might as well get another low right here. And well, I mean, VeChain is not looking too great on the 4-hour. However, on the 1-hour chart, actually on the daily chart, it's looking a lot better because we have an A, B, C down, and I don't know why the second wave is here. This is the end of the second wave, and we can actually get another low which could put us at 1.7 cents. Is that necessary? Well, not really, because this could just turn into some kind of ABC structure that doesn't need to get another low. So yeah, yes, that's possible, but we still need to get 5 waves up to be able to confirm that the low is in. So this is a very clear ABC structure. Now you could say that maybe this is actually a 1-2 setup, but honestly, I mean, if it is a 1-2 setup, we are already below the 0.786 support level, and well, we still have a chance for this to get invalidated. So theoretically, you could count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't know, I mean, the second wave right here would be way too deep for my liking, but you never know, we could always get another low, so yeah, be careful for that. And that's it for the short term at least. Now let's go back to the Cardano chart. Well, actually no, let's talk about Bitcoin, because if you understand what's happening with Bitcoin, you will understand what could happen with the altcoins as well. And if you have not watched my previous videos, then you should probably pay attention now, because what I'm about to say is extremely important, and I want to show you a pattern that Bitcoin keeps repeating every single year. And I mean, it has happened like 3 times yet, and I think it will happen again very, very soon. Well, actually, this is the 3rd time right now. So what am I talking about? Well, if you look at the weekly RSI, as you can see, we actually found support at the weekly RSI multiple times here. And this is actually very, very important because we just got to the RSI level of about 44. And like I said, we found support here multiple times in the past, meaning that this could actually be the low right here at $75,000. Well, it was like 76,000, but you could say that it was like 75, and that's gonna be fine. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, because the first low right here was actually at about 25k, so please keep that in mind, 25k. The second low was at 50k. Is that a coincidence? Well, maybe. But the third low right here was at 75k. Now, do you see what I'm going with this? I mean, the RSI went to the exact same levels, however, the price actually doubled every single time. Well, actually not doubled, but it went up 25k every single time, which leads me to believe that we're about to get another pump by the end of May, and then in the summer we go down and the next low is 100k. I mean, does that make sense? I think it makes sense to me, at least. So is it possible for Bitcoin to still be at about $140,000, maybe $150,000 by the end of May? Well, if you look at this chart based on what happened in the couple of months prior, well, you could say that here, for example, Bitcoin went up like 80% in 2 months, and right now we are in April, and if we start going up right now, Bitcoin could realistically be at above, let's see, 140,000 to 150,000 by the end of May, easily in my opinion. I mean, it's Bitcoin we are talking about, and also we are in a post-halving year, so something like that is honestly extremely possible, and people are fearful right now. However, I think that's gonna change extremely soon, because I think this pattern will keep repeating, and I think we're still gonna get a correction in the summer, but before that we will actually have another massive pump. And if you look at the weekly chart, Bitcoin is actually looking very, very good, and it really looks like it's about to break, you know, to the upside, but we'll have to see about that. We are still below the bull market support band, so we'll see if we get any type of reaction or if we actually get some kind of double bottom. Now, going back to the Cardano chart, now that you understand what's happening with Bitcoin, you could say that Cardano could also, you know, get back above the bull market support band if Bitcoin actually does that. And I mean, Cardano right now is just going sideways. It has been going sideways for months. You could say that we are even in some kind of downtrend right here, but you know, it's not really the best downtrend, but you could actually put some kind of trend line here if you wanted to. And well, it's not gonna be that important anyways, because we still have to get back above the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average first. And what else we need to do is get back above the moving average on the RSI on the weekly chart. As you can see, we got rejected here, and I told you about this when it happened. This was bearish and we got rejected, which means that right now what we need to do is get back above it. And I think once we actually manage to get back above it, that will get a pump that looks like this over here. So I think the next couple of months are going to be very, very bullish, and the target for the third wave on the Cardano chart is still $2.98. That's the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup here. However, it could always go higher, maybe like $4.25. And keep in mind, in the previous cycle, it actually got to the 1.618 extension of the previous all-time high, meaning that if we do the exact same thing in this cycle, we could be at above $5 in the third wave, and then we get the summer drop. But do not get your hopes too high. Now going to the Chainlink chart, like I said, we are still looking for another fifth wave move up, meaning that if we actually get it and if this 1, 2, 3, 4 setup does not get invalidated anytime soon, then after that we will still need an ABC down. And well, Chainlink is not really in a good position, and I would much rather just have another low right here and get like $8 or so, but that's probably not gonna happen. Now if it did happen, it would actually be good because we could start the third wave after that, but if we don't, I mean, it would still be fine, and maybe we could say that this is actually a 1-2 setup, but the first wave move up only has 3 waves, and maybe you are right, but we'll have to see about that. If it is a 1-2 setup, then obviously the next thing to do would be a third wave of the third wave. Now the minimum target for the main third wave is $105. I know that sounds unrealistic, but keep in mind this high was at like $30, and yes, right now we are at $13, and from where we are at, that would be a, let's say, 7x return on investment, but that's what usually happens with the altcoins, especially in an altcoin season. So I could see that happening, you know, maybe by the end of May, or if not by the end of May, then probably by the end of January of next year. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. Now going to the VeChain chart, well, VeChain is not looking too great. However, it's not looking that bad either because we still have a 1-2 setup on the chart. We reacted to the support zone many times, meaning that what we need next is a third wave move off, and the target for that is 23 cents. Now is that possible? Well, I don't know, but you have to keep in mind from this low right here to this high right here, we went up like, let's see, about 4x in a matter of a couple of months, and this was not even the altcoin season. This was just a big fake out on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So yeah, right now I'm still watching for higher prices on VeChain, but like I said, for all of the altcoins that we are talking about today, we need to get back above the 200-day moving average and above the bull market support band first, and also above the moving averages on the RSI, on the weekly RSI. So yeah, also speaking of Bitcoin dominance is still going up right now. It has not gone down. We are in April. It has not gone down in March or in February. So we are not doing what we did in the previous 2 cycles, meaning that we are just doing something entirely different. I have no idea what, but I think it could actually go higher and maybe even test like 66%. However, this could again be a big fake out like this was, for example. So everybody thought that this was the start of the altcoin season, but it wasn't. And right now everybody is thinking that Bitcoin dominance will go higher, and maybe it's not gonna happen. Maybe this is just another fake out, and maybe we're about to get something like this very soon. Now, I talked about Bitcoin dominance and the altcoins. Here, when Bitcoin dominance dropped about let's see, about 7%, the altcoins went crazy. And now I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to drop to like 40% in the next couple of months, maybe in the next year or so. And right now we're at 62%. So if the altcoins went crazy when we did this and when we went down like 7%, imagine what will happen when Bitcoin dominance starts doing something like this. I think you need to get prepared for that, and I think it's gonna happen this year, but you still need some patience, and you know, you have to stop being bearish just because the altcoins are going down. They are still in a very good position. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.